You are about to see an overview of the calibration and setup of a BEMP belt scale system with an Intercont Plus electronics module. The individual steps in the process are included in a detailed instruction sheet you will need to have in hand while calibration is performed. To print out the sheet, click the icon on your screen. Before calibration and setup can begin, the system hardware must be properly installed. The controller must be wired into the system, supplied with power, and fully functioning. The main activity is measuring and calibrating the parameters of the physical device, then entering this data into the software using the keypad and the LCD screen. To begin entering data, press the Function key and use the scroll buttons to select the programming menu. The Enter key puts you in the programming menu, where you'll scroll to select Enter Parameters. The system prompts for a password. Use the default password 07734. This is the main parameters menu, where the system information is entered for successful setup. The numbers entered in this video are for demonstration only. The actual numbers you enter in a particular installation may vary. Begin gathering setup data by measuring the length of the system's belt in inches, then dividing the number of inches by 12 to create a figure in decimal feet. Next, run the system in volumetric mode to obtain the Hertz value for the speed your system is running. If your system has a variable speed belt, run at maximum speed. The Hertz value is found in the Service Values section of the menu. Write it down. You'll need it in a moment. Time the running belt for 3 revolutions, then divide your total time by 3. This provides an accurate value for the time per belt revolution. Enter this time value into the Intercont display. Now, calculate the belt speed in feet per second by dividing the length of the belt in feet by the number of seconds required for 1 belt revolution. Write down this result for reference. Then enter it with the keypad. Now, take the 2 values you wrote down and divide them by one another. Hertz value divided by feet per second. The result is impulses per foot. Write this figure down as well. Enter this time value into the Intercont display. By multiplying impulses per foot by the total length of the belt, you'll get impulses per belt. Write this figure down. The next step is to run the belt again, making sure to do so in volumetric mode at the same speed it was run previously. While the system is running, run the Impulses per Belt calibration program in the Calibration function menu. This program uses the value you placed in the belt circuit time parameter to count the impulses for 1 revolution of the belt. The BEMP software places the result of this test into the system as the belt circuit number. Check the value of this parameter. It should compare favorably with the impulses per belt number you calculated earlier. If it doesn't, check the calculations and correct any errors. Before moving to the next step, make sure some important parameters are entered correctly. Check the values for C03, C04, and C05 on the LCD screen. The correct values may be found on the equipment or on the system design sheet. After the check is complete, start the system and run the tare calibration program. This program will calibrate the tare weight over 1 belt revolution. The resulting number can be checked in the basic tare section of the LCD menu. The next part of the calibration process involves a set of check weights and the check weight calibration function in the calibration functions menu. Begin working with the check weights by entering their weight value into the system. The check weights can now be suspended from the weigh bridge, making sure that they have sufficient clearance to avoid contact with the belt. With the weights in place, run the system in volumetric mode and start the check weight calibration program. The program will supply you with a correction factor, which compensates for any inaccuracy of the load cell. Enter the range correction in the menu. If it is possible, Finish the calibration process by performing a material check with a volume of material of a known weight. This calibration should run at least 5 to 10 minutes of material at somewhat normal rates. With the system running in totalizer mode, compare the totalized weight on the readout with the actual weight of the material. If there is a difference between the two, use the formula supplied on your calibration instruction sheet to create a new correction factor. Enter the resulting new correction factor to complete the calibration process. The BEMP belt scale system is now fully calibrated and ready for everyday use.